My number 2 is a player who signed very recently, and it's very, very, very annoying that they played this morning and that he fucking scored. But it's Anthony. For 100 million for a player from Ajax. Ajax will accept 30 mil for players.
Yeah, they will.
They would love to accept 30 mil for a player. Stats are, they're all right. But for 100 mil, you could buy anyone you want in the whole world.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
You could go to any club in the whole world and say, give me your best player, I'll give you 100 mil.
If Ten Hag went to Mbappe and said, I'll give you 100 mil for Neymar, you think he's not taking that to Mbappe? You think he's not taking that?
If Ten Hag went to Mbappe and said, we'll give you 100.
Perfect.
Whoa. We're going to definitely have to restart.
We could cut that.
We're going to have to restart.
Good morning,
that.
good afternoon, good night. You're back and Let 'Em Shoot. This is your Thursday night football fix. You're here with a couple good friends of mine to my right.
Hello, everyone. Tom here. I only really come on when my good friends Arsenal lose, so
Makes
today
sense.
should be an interesting episode. I'm looking forward to it.
It's your boy Madrona with a. It's your boy MJ back again. Born in Africa gang.
That's
Happy to be here, man.
happy to have you here, man.
Cheers.
See, Tom's wearing the last good Liverpool kit.
Oh my god! Did you see the green one today?
0 from 3 Liverpool went
Yep.
this year for kits, and then they went 1 from 3 in signings. Carvalho, our only good signing. Bangers Techers, slowest to 1 million followers. Back with the gang. Here again. Happy to be here, actually. I come straight from work, and this is the best part of my day. So, thanks, guys.
That's beautiful, man.
You're a hard worker.
Tell them what they need to do, Mark, before we start.
Before we kick this off, make sure you watch the episode in full.
Yeah, that's
Make sure you watch the TikTok in full.
Yeah.
Make sure you like everything.
Yep.
Everything, like it.
Like everything.
Subscribe, everything. Do that now. Let's go.
Now.
Yeah.
Comment.
Comment.
We'll wait.
Yep.
And is that it?
I think that's it.
Oh yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah. Oh,
And share with your friends.
And hit the
Share with
notification
your
bell.
friends. No, share with your friends.
And share with your friends.
Sure. We might as well start this off with the game of the weekend. United versus Arsenal.
Man.
3-1 to United at Old Trafford. A counter-attacking masterclass. A clinic.
It was.
I never thought, really, if someone told me at the start of this year that an Arsenal loss could make me this happy, I wouldn't have believed it. I swear I wouldn't have believed it. At least things are back in order now.
Well, not really. They're still first.
No, they're still first. But they're not as happy. And they're not as excited. And they're not invincible still. So I'm more happy. Even though we drew with Everton, I'm more happy.
Do you want to tell them what you said before the game? Your prediction?
I saw Arsenal 2-0.
Hey.
I think
A confident 2-0 as
I
well.
think that
Confident.
would have happened. We were on the way for that happening until we were robbed. We scored early on in the game. United would have had to come out, attack, and we would have just exploited the space on the counter. Exactly like I told Samuel. We'll go up 1-0 early. United will have to come out. Second half, we'll hit them, counter 2-0. Unfortunately, the ref had other plans. Gary Neville's he's more excited than ever at this victory. I think Arsenal in the game, they played in that game as everyone thought they would. Dominated the game, showed what they've been doing for the whole season. But United were just clinical, and I think they maybe had 4 chances in the whole game. Took all 4. Took 3. 4 almost had another one, Ronaldo. And really, they showed why they've won 4 in a row now. Sit back, soak up pressure, players like Rashford, Bruno with the final ball, Christian Eriksen, who I think was the man of the match.
Yeah, definitely.
He was outstanding. I don't know. What did you think? Mark, what did you think of the game?
Well, for me, look, I see the City result, and I'm like, last.
Yeah.
Everybody got your breakfast. I thought 3 points in the bag. We got 4 points clear. I was already thinking ahead. Not
Yeah.
because I think United's trash. I just thought the form we're in, the players that we have, the starting 11 that we had selected, it should be a game we should win. Obviously, we didn't get the result. I thought when you look at the game, we can't really fault our footballing performance because we dominated when we need to dominate. We kept possession well. We played out very well. At times, we broke them down very easily. I think the problem with us, especially not losing that VAR decision, which is, I mean, it's questionable, but I can see why it was given a foul because he doesn't get the ball. Okay, cool. But I think we had chances in that first half in particular. When you look at Saliba, he had that chance inside the box.
Xhaka, another one.
Yeah. Xhaka, he has a chance.
Odegaard in the second half.
Yeah.
Clear
Saka
chance.
has a chance. You know, that
Saka.
indirect free kick, he gets it and he just wastes. You can tell he's not confident. But
Yeah.
I think this was a game we could have got a better result, but we have to give credit to United. They were devastating on the counter-attack.
Absolutely.
You know, exceptional performance from Eriksen. I think we're seeing a better midfield balance now with those two guys. Bruno playing a bit higher, Eriksen in that 6 to 8 role.
Yep.
You know, once Casemiro comes into the side,
Dominating
United's
out.
no joke.
Yeah.
You know, Malacia, excellent. As much as I don't like Dallo, he was good.
It was good.
Defensively, very solid. Going forward, very good.
Yeah.
I got to give credit to United. They were much better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be decent, but they were much more organized than they were. Yeah.
What did you guys see from the Liverpool game against United compared to this?
It's similar.
It was almost identical.
It was like
It was.
the away team came, had most of the possession. United knew their limitations in their team and their setup. Knew they probably couldn't match it on the ball. I think they set up defensively and then they just put 3 quick players up front and just exploited the spaces in behind. When you have so much possession, you kind of get lulled into a false sense of security where you move into their half and you're moving the ball around quickly. One
Absolutely.
bad pass, you can just
Cut
stretch
open.
them.
Yeah.
You can stretch them so quickly, and it's exactly what happened to Liverpool as it happened to Arsenal.
Yeah, they cut us to pieces.
The
2 balls.
yeah.
Balls.
When you look at the game, apart from it's pretty similar to the Liverpool game. Apart from the they come out with a quick start, they look ferocious, intense, they're pressing, winning the ball up high. The away team can't really get out at the start. And then for 75 minutes, 80 minutes, the away team is on top.
Yeah.
And all it takes is, at the moment, one chance, Man U to get one chance. They bury that and they will just sit back, soak up pressure, and then hit on the counter-attack, and they did that again.
My issue with Arsenal is their depth, pretty much. You see Partey doing so well before, and then he comes into this game and he doesn't play, and you have Lokonga replacing him, and it's just, I worry about you guys going into Europe and getting injuries with more games. You know, last year you had a good 11, but you didn't play in Europe. Now you've got 10, 15 potentially extra games this year.
Yeah.
Your 11 is on par
Thin.
with, you know, some of the best in the league, but you know, you play midweek. There was a midweek game now, just gone. You had one injury with Partey, and then I think your midfield sort of suffered hugely when he went out of
Especially
the team.
defensively.
Yeah. And
Defensively.
when you've got Xhaka and Lokonga playing who aren't at the same level, you know, you've got Partey who gets the ball from deep and then progresses the ball forward. I think you guys were struggling in getting out at times because you didn't have that ball progressor where Partey can come deep and get the ball. Xhaka moves forward. You're seeing Xhaka play a lot more, a lot higher this year to great effect as well. Now you don't have that person to help him in behind.
I think he couldn't do it as much as well in the game. We didn't see him get the ball as high as he was getting it previously because I feel as though they were more scared with Lokonga playing in that 6 role defensively, that if Man U did get the chance to counter, him by himself protecting the back four is not the same as having Partey.
But I think on that note as well, if you look at the first goal, Lokonga gets dragged out to Eriksen. Odegaard is out of position.
Yeah.
And Xhaka's too far on the right-hand side. So that's why you see Fernandes receive the ball. No, none of the midfielders are even close to him.
Yeah.
Which forces one of our centre-backs to get out of
step
position.
out.
Now
Yeah.
it's 3v3 at
brings
the back.
everyone across.
Yeah.
So I think we are seeing not only going forward, but even just our shape defensively, that we're not getting to players. The players that are there are out of position, and it was pretty. I was pretty shocked with how we conceded because I thought it was almost too easy.
Yeah.
And that's maybe a good example of what happens when such a big player and a critical player leaves our team.
And I think that's what happens when you play against someone like Christian Eriksen playing deeper, is his ability to play early and play quickly through the lines.
Yeah.
As we saw with his pass to Bruno for the first goal and with the pass to Bruno for the third goal. The second goal.
Second goal.
Unreal. He plays it first time around the corner and they're out straight away. They can't get close to him.
And Lokonga, he's just inexperienced, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Switches off for half a second,
And
it's a wrap.
different ball
And
game.
that's the difference. And I think, like, on your points is, that's why I think this game was a huge game, because we lose that deficit, that 4-point buffer, and now we're in a scramble, because now we have Europe starting next week, and Man City's now, you know, so close to us. So that's that pressure. Now we have points pressure again, which is, I think, what we didn't need at this point of the season. I think we need to hold on to like a 3-4 point gap for about, you know, a month, which is that realistic? I'm not sure. But that gives us time to settle into Europa, gets the inexperienced players to get their minutes and to get the confidence, but we don't quite have that. So I think it's going to be tough. From now on, it's going to be really, really tough.
And now
really
I think
tough.
it puts you in a difficult position where if you were coming first, you could kind of bin Europa off.
Yeah.
You could kind of just say, look, we're doing so well in the league.
We're going to make
Now-
Champions League anyway. Yeah.
We're going to make top 4. We want to make top 4. We want to be in the Champions League. Realistically, you're probably not going to win the Europa League. So
I mean,
obviously you could.
You can
we
put
could,
all your...
but it's not guaranteed.
But the
It's
easiest
not
path for you
guaranteed.
guys is top 4.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So now, you know, you want to cement yourself as early as possible in the top 4.
Absolutely.
And you know what it made me think of? It made me think of, like, being a Liverpool fan. When Man City drop points, you have to make sure you collect
Yeah.
all 3 points.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't happen too often. Yes, it's happened already twice this year, but they could so easily just go on a 20-game
Are
run.
you saying this for City?
I'm saying this for Arsenal.
What do you
If you're trying to challenge against City.
I don't think we are.
Yeah, but I mean,
But you're in the
you started the
position to,
season,
yeah.
you're top.
Yeah, but no Arsenal fan thinks we're challenging. The goal is still top 4, regardless.
No, the goal is top
Absolutely,
4.
yeah,
But I'm
absolutely.
saying you start the season off 5 from 5. Man City are dropping points. If you want to challenge for the title, and if the players think they can challenge for the title, and a team that can challenge for the title, you have to pick up the points when City drop points. And that's probably the hardest thing about playing against a team like City.
Yeah, and I think if I'm honest, from an Arsenal perspective, you could sense it like a feeling of, you know, oh, this could be a potential. You know, I think the fans did feel that. So I think this might be a reality check that maybe we're not quite there yet. But again, it's still early.
And your
We
players
could
are
win the
young.
next 4 games. You know what I mean? But I think it's disappointing that we didn't capitalize today, because I think it's so important. I think it's so important, especially leading into Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. And it showed, like you guys said, how big a loss Thomas Partey was. I think when we sat here and said, who's Arsenal's most important player, all of us said Thomas Partey.
Except for
absolutely.
Bud.
Except, yeah.
Who did Bud say?
He said Ramsdale.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. But you just saw, defensively, we didn't look the same. I think the movement that always happens in the game is the Xhaka-Zinchenko exchange.
yeah.
Where Xhaka peels out, Zinchenko comes in, but then on loss of possession, if there's no Partey there,
Yeah.
defensively
Exposed.
Yeah.
And
I completely
Lokonga isn't a defensive-minded player. Yes, he is a ball carrier. He's like more like Jorginho in a sense where he's more in there for his ability to get on the ball, blah, blah, blah. But I think without Thomas Partey, it looks like we're way more susceptible,
Yeah.
especially on the break. And they showed with those players running in behind, the movement of the front 3, Arsenal just looked a bit lost when we were in transition
Couldn't really
yesterday.
deal with it today.
Yeah. And not to say that there weren't a lot of good moments in that game, a lot of positives to take out of it,
Definitely.
especially the first half to about the 65th minute, completely dominated. United couldn't get out of their half, but then one chance, they go back ahead. So I think there was a lot of positives, but it just showed that Arsenal still need a few more pieces before
Big time.
they can
Big
really
time.
consider themselves up there.
Big time. I think that's exactly right. I think that's what we saw in this United game was we are a while away from genuinely trying to contend for a title, because title winning teams
While playing in Europe.
somebody is out, you bring somebody in who's almost like for like. Whereas I think the distance is too great for Arsenal at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't talk about him, but he scored. Didn't have a good performance. 100 million. He scores in his first game. He's brought straight in. What do you make of him being brought straight in 1 week of training? Secondly, he scores. And you've seen Casemiro, who's been there for 3-4 weeks now, hasn't started a game yet, still gets brought on last. Anthony comes straight into the side, and you can't say it didn't work. Yes, he wasn't good in the game, but he scored. That's exactly what he's there to do.
Yeah, the difference is that he's played under Ten Hag before.
Yeah, of course.
And he knows the system. He knows exactly what's required of him. And he's also lucky that Alanga's been
Dog shit.
absolutely fucking terrible the whole year.
He has been.
So I think Casemiro maybe needs a few weeks to adjust or whatever to the system. But I mean, I don't personally agree. I'd be fucking fuming if I was in that squad and he came in and started straight away. But you can understand from a coaching perspective why.
Yeah.
Well, let's speak on United because this is their 4th win in a row. I think we said after the Liverpool game, we sort of felt like for this year, United were going to be that team that doesn't really implement their style of Ten Hag football. They were just going to try and sit, play on the counter, especially in the big games. But they've done it in almost every game. They got dominated at Southampton. They still got the 3 points.
They sat back against Leicester.
Against Leicester, the second half, they got completely dominated to a team that is awful. And again, against Arsenal, they've dominated and...
I just don't know how realistic it is that they can play that way for the rest of the year. Especially when you're one of the big teams and you're expected to dominate games, especially at Old Trafford. Are you going to set up and let fucking, I don't know, Forest come there and play Forest on the counter? No. You're going to have to implement your style sooner or later.
I mean, for me, I think when we watch United develop, I think we are seeing that Ten Hag is looking at more of like a long-term transition instead of implementing his style straight away. Because I think we've seen him try to do that. They got buried by
Brentford.
But I think we've seen that now that he's brought in more of the players that suit his system, I think we're seeing them play better. We're seeing a better energy. Because you look at Malacia, Dallo as the fullbacks, they're bringing a lot of energy. Martinez is bringing a lot of energy.
Even that midget. Yeah.
And I think that partnership with Varane's going to help them a lot. Right. So for me, I think... they might not play beautiful football, but I think they'll be able to win a lot more games than I would have foreseen before all of this. I think they're going to be much better, and they're probably going to exceed a lot of people's expectations of what they were going to be like.
I just think like, how far can enthusiasm take you, especially when you're expected to dominate games? When you don't have the ball, I think it's easy to motivate yourself to win the ball back. When you're under pressure, you get up for big tackles, you get up for 50-50s and stuff like that. When you have the ball for a lot of the game, how good are they going to be at motivating themselves to win it back within 5 seconds?
Or even to find the right passes or be motivated enough to make the runs in behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because realistically, there's probably 10 teams that will play United and dominate the ball.
But I think also we have to recognize that if you look at that projected starting 11, 4 or 5 of those players are new players. So I think it's like, is it realistic to expect them to hit the ground running? Or is it more realistic to say, you know what, maybe from the second half of the season, we're going to see a United that plays better football, they're more consistent. Yeah, all the players understand the system now.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm looking at. Because I think they have the quality now. But I think it's more when those pieces come together, when they can start firing, when the system works. And I think we could see, personally, a United that is better than...
more attractive brand.
And playing a more attractive brand of football, especially a Dutch coach.
We saw Anthony debut, scored. Not the best performance, but scored, I guess, game changer, match winner. And it leads me to, now that the transfer window is closed, which signing is going to be there to make the difference? Which signing is going to be up there as signings of the year? Tom, let's do a little top 5. Who is your 5th best signing of the window?
5-1?
5-1, let's go.
I was tossing up between 2 players. The player I ended up going with was a player who signed for Chelsea. I think they lost a lot of players in this position. And I think the reason why I put it in my top 5 is because I think they got probably the best available option that they could get for a decent amount that was available. So my 5 is Koulibaly.
That's my 5.
Nice.
I just think that this guy, he's been there, done that. He's played in Europe before. He's a very, very solid international. They've got Thiago Silva in the middle. He's a left footer.
Yeah. A mould that fits the Prem.
Exactly right. He's big. He's strong. He's an excellent passer. And, you know, he's basically everything that you want in a left-sided
Absolutely.
centre-back.
Yeah. That's my 5.
My number 5 hasn't really got off the ground running. He hasn't been allowed to start yet. He hasn't really had the impact that I think he will have in the future. But for me, that's Yves Bissouma. And I think for 25 million, Tottenham have signed, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and someone who will absolutely come into that team and make a difference. Absolutely change the way that they play, take over games in terms of his defensive ability, and on the ball, he's going to give a lot more than Bentancur and Højbjerg. And going forward, I feel as though they're going to be much, much better with him in the side.
He's a far better progressor.
Yeah,
than what they
far
have.
better.
And for a team that likes to go forward quickly and has quick forwards,
Yeah.
Okay.
he's going to be perfect.
And
for
the
them.
way he can drive with the ball,
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be very, very impactful.
Mike, 5.
My number 5 is Romeo Lavia for Southampton.
Yeah, nice.
I love him.
You know,
So
he's
good.
He's been at a big club. You can tell he's got football intelligence.
Where'd they sign him from?
Man City under
Oh, shit.
23s or under 21s.
Yeah, he's only 18.
Yeah.
He's 18,
Yeah,
yeah.
So good.
Did you see the thing that Chelsea on deadline day bid 50 mil for him?
Yeah,
I
did you
saw
guys see
that.
that?
They signed him.
Was it
Fabrizio,
50 mil?
50 mil.
50 mil, yeah.
I thought it was
And
less.
they signed him this window.
How could they sign him?
Chelsea tried to
They
sign
realised.
him. They bid for him
Yeah.
50 mil.
Yeah.
And they signed him for 14 mil, Southampton.
Sorry, Mike, yeah.
This window.
Baller,
Wow.
yeah. Continue.
Yeah, but I think we're starting to see his performances in Southampton. He's been,
He's
for me,
so
exceptional.
cold. Yeah.
He plays with maturity. Technically, he's very good.
Mm.
He gets that team going. Defensively, he's strong. And for that price as well, I think it's going to be very good business for Southampton because they could sell him for 70, 80 plus if
Well,
he has
they-
one good year.
They could
Well,
have tripled their thing.
They declined 50.
They
Quadrupled
declined
their thing.
50 the same window they signed him.
That's great business. Let's go number 4. Mike, you go 4.
So number 4 for me, I'm going to go Malacia. I was looking a bit different. I think if you look at what United needed in terms of fullbacks, he fits the mold. Technically, he's good. He's good going forward. He can slot in the midfield if he has to. It's similar, not similar, but that Zinchenko role where he's a fullback, but he can move inside to receive the ball, cause problems. And I think he's made quite a big difference to United, the way they're playing, how they're looking, the confidence, the energy he brings. I think he's definitely had a huge impact on that team.
He brings the intensity that Luke Shaw never brought.
Yeah.
Never, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially defensively.
Yeah. And you saw even yesterday, there was times where Saka had him, but he was relentless, like a pest.
Yeah, he
like
just
Saka would go
he never
past
gave
him,
up.
and he's still biting like.
And he fouls in
Nippy.
the right places. He fouls when he has to. Because as a fullback, there's going to be a time where you're versing a winger that's bloody good at going one-on-one, and they're going to beat you. And if you foul them before they get into dangerous areas,
Yeah.
no
Smart.
issues. You don't get a yellow card. You relax.
Knows the system as well.
Yeah,
Previously
exactly.
worked under the coach.
For me, my number 4 is Chelsea player, Raheem Sterling.
Okay.
I think Sterling is probably one of, if not the best option they could have gone with as a wide player who definitely suits the system. I feel as though they signed someone who could come in and make an instant impact, and he has. So far, he has. He's got a couple goals, a couple assists. He looks decent. Chelsea don't look great, but he looks decent, and I think having him in the side brings a level of a forward that they haven't had in a while. He brings someone who's won. He's someone who can have an impact on the younger players like Mason Mount, the other Hudson-Odoi, even if he ever gets back to playing. But yeah.
Moved to Germany.
Oh yeah, he left.
Yeah.
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 You went to Leverkusen? Where did you go?
Where to Bremen, I think.
But yeah, Raheem Sterling.
Number 4.
My number 4 is Isak.
That is my number 4.
Yeah, I just think
Sick.
this is the perfect signing for Newcastle. The trajectory of the club, I think, he's coming in. He's young. He's hungry. He's exactly the profile that you want in a striker for the Premier League.
Exceptional player.
He's rarely injured. I think that if he gets a good run of games in a good league, that he's just going to excel crazy amounts. I think that Newcastle are building an excellent team that's going to support him. So once he has better players around him, I think in the next 2-3 years, we're going to see a 20-25 goal striker easily in the Prem.
Yeah, and I think we were speaking a couple of weeks ago about how Newcastle sort of underwhelmed us in the market and how they hadn't made that statement signing, and then they went and spent 60 mil and signed one of the most promising young strikers in the world.
And I think it's easy for Newcastle to go with all the money that they have and just buy superstars.
Yeah.
And just like
Absolutely.
completely fuck their salary structure and all this kind of stuff. But they probably overspent for him, but I think his age profile and how good he is it's just the perfect signing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was my number 4. My number 3, I think before yesterday probably would have been number 5, but watching Christian Eriksen yesterday has bumped him high up my list because he looks like their most important midfielder at the moment. He looks like the most, I guess, difficult player to mark in that United side, especially because in possession, McTominay clears the fuck out of midfield and they just let Christian Eriksen do whatever he wants, and it showed how deadly he can be. He even got the assist for the 3rd goal, making that run. He's passed for the 2nd goal. Yeah, and for free, I don't think you can really...
I was taking the piss out of this signing at the start.
And
honestly.
his career had 2 years ago,
stagnated.
even 1 year ago, I could not picture Christian Eriksen back at even a top 10 side in the Premier League. And now he's at Man U, and the performance he put in yesterday was like exceptional. He's got literally half a heart. Well, I mean, half cyborg, so that's probably why he's
He's
good.
half cyborg. Who's your number 3?
My number 3 comes from Arsenal. I think he's a magnificent signing. To me, before he went there, I would say he was one of the best in his position, and a lot of people didn't agree, and that's Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko, Arsenal can play with a completely different system now that they have Zinchenko. 100%. When they have the ball, he becomes like a midfielder that's so progressive, that can get the ball in the half turn, play forward. He's allowed Xhaka, who looks like a rejuvenated player. He can play up high now, looks so much better. And Arteta's done perfect business, not expensive. And he's slotted in, and he's a perfect player for the system, perfect player for the squad as well. Everyone loves him there.
Great bloke.
And yeah, perfect.
Mark, number
He's
3.
a top geezer.
Yeah.
See, I knew people were going to say Zinchenko, so I didn't even bother.
yeah.
But my number
Smart.
3, I'm going to go Paqueta.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
I think if you look at West Ham's midfield, I think he offers a lot. I think they have better balance now because it's Souček, Declan Rice, Paqueta.
Yeah.
I think that's what they need, especially now they've got Cornet, who I think is a much more capable striker. Got Skamaka. They don't really need to rely on Antonio, and I think they've got enough technical.
Yeah.
They've got enough technical wide players that I think that is a very good signing in my opinion.
Yeah. Sick profile as well for the Prem, like in terms of type of player.
Yeah. It's really cool. He's someone I want to watch.
He's tall as well. I haven't seen much of him. I'm interested to
He's
see
got
how
tech.
it goes.
And he starts for Brazil every game.
Yeah.
Every game without fail, he starts. And there was times where I'm thinking, why is he starting every game?
It's like, I think I saw a thing, nearly the whole, except for Neymar, the whole starting Brazil 11 is in the Prem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marquinhos.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh, yeah.
Nearly.
Yeah.
Nearly the
Almost.
whole.
Which leads me on to my number 3,
Oh, yeah.
Casemiro.
Oh.
And I like this for a few reasons.
Oh, fuck.
I think that it keeps Ronaldo happy.
Yeah.
I think that it's the perfect player for United to base their midfield around, and a player that will bring them to the next level in terms of winning and belief within the squad.
Start the new era.
And it fucks off McTominay and Fred as a partnership, which
Yeah,
is exactly what they've
definitely.
been trying to do for about 2 years now. So
Let's hope his 20-minute cameo is not a representation because he was terrible when he came on yesterday.
And terrible against Southampton.
But Tom, let's stay
he's
with
just
you.
collecting the check.
Let's go number 2.
Yeah, we'll stay in Brazil for this one.
We're going to be. I think
we're
the
all
top
probably
two
have the
is
same.
the
Top
exact
two,
same.
Top
probably
two
the
is probably the same.
Yeah.
Gabby
But we can
Jesus.
just talk about it.
Yeah. Jesus.
Guy's a freak. Guy looks like prime R9.
People were giving me shit for saying I did not say on TikTok that he is R9 or that he is fucking R9
thought you said he's
level.
better.
I said this guy looks like and moves similarly to how R9 was playing.
Absolutely.
He was dropping in, receiving the ball, strong as fuck, being able to turn any defender. He can go into a physical contest with any centre back.
Anyone.
And come out on top. And his ability to beat players is something you don't see from a 9. Like
Yeah,
there's
anymore.
no strikers
No
in world
more.
football who really base their game around being able to beat a player.
No.
And
Yeah,
he
1v1.
can he
He's a
can beat
joke.
any.
Essentially,
That's
why-
R9.
1v1.
It's a joke.
yeah.
And that's why I was saying he's R9. Not his finishing, nothing like that, but his energy, his ability on the ball.
His strength.
Yeah.
And why are we seeing this like rejuvenated player? Do you think that Pep's
Killed him?
system sort of reduced him down to the player that
Well,
he
he
was
wanted
at
to
City?
play 9.
Pep's race wars.
Yeah.
He literally wanted to play 9, and Pep chose to play with someone who a false 9 in Sterling or Foden or Grealish, whoever it was, played false 9 when they clearly have one of the best. They had one of the best 9s in the Premier League. I watched him. A ball came all the way from the keeper, and
Varane,
barged
the
the
one to
centre back.
Varane.
And he took the
And he
touch
took
like
the
this.
touch, brought it down, and I'm watching that. And you know what I have to? We'll get into it because
Yeah.
when we get to worst signings, fire out. But this guy is so elite. His ability on the ball, there is not another number 9 in the Premier League with that level of ability on the
think
ball.
so.
There's not,
No way.
and it's even in the world.
Yeah.
There's 9s, of course, that are better than him, that play number 9. But the ability he has to take on players, beat players 1v1, his hold-up play is some of the best hold-up play I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was going to say if you had to pick a striker in the league who was going to be isolated all game against a centre-back,
Yeah.
you'd take him because he can go in any area of the field. You saw in the first minute of the game where Lokonga clears it and
Martinez.
that little midget has a little
Freak.
20-meter head start. Jesus barges him, wins the foul in
Barges
Right
him
on the goal line,
and
yeah.
has the tech to give him a little feint as well. Under pressure, the most pressure, gives him a feint. See you later.
No one
foul.
around.
Yeah.
Foul. He's top.
And then number 1,
Boring.
It's
Cyborg.
boring, but it's just
Boring.
It's
I
a
think
cyborg.
if you don't say he's number 1,
Yeah.
you're mad. At this
Yeah.
point,
Cappy.
You're a
yeah,
psycho.
if this was before we've seen the guy score every single game,
Yeah.
but he's scored too many goals too
Yeah.
quickly that he can't be number 1.
Yeah. He can't not be.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
a joke if somebody said something
How,
else.
Absolutely.
How can your first 6 games in the they tell everyone this is the hardest league in the world. Sure, it can be the hardest league in the world, but you've got someone who's still a kid, comes to the league, bangs in 10 goals in 6
He can't
games.
drink in America.
He literally can't go to America and party.
No.
He comes 10 goals in 6 games. He's more focused than anyone. They're not even letting him play 90 minutes. He's finishing
he doesn't
games
need to play 90
65 minutes,
This
60
guy gets his hat
minutes.
trick in 60 minutes and he's
He
off.
gets his hat tricks in the
golden
first
minute
half.
ratio is
All right,
crazy.
see you later. First half hat trick, yeah. Pep, yeah, come on, let our other signing, our other striker come on and have
And
a little
score a
bit
double.
and score a
Yeah,
double.
yeah.
I honestly have never seen someone suit a system so perfectly, just because
I don't even know if he suits the system perfectly, but he
he does.
He doesn't because they've played with a false 9 for the last 5 years.
They literally do
He
not
has 7
need their
touches
9
a
to be.
game.
They don't need him to be involved.
Do you know
and he's happy with
He
it.
scores a goal on average every 11 touches.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're just saying,
I saw that.
stay up there. Don't fucking come near the ball.
But he's calm with it. He is not someone who's going to be like, yeah, get me on the ball heaps. He's happy for De Bruyne to just find him when they need to find him, Bernardo Silva to find him when they need to find him, and when he gets his chances, he puts them away. He has the best positioning.
I saw Haaland doing an interview with Alan Shearer, and he said that he gets an indescribable feeling when he scores. Like,
That's what it
he said he
is.
doesn't even care what type of goal it is. It could be a tap in. He could be on the goal line and he just kicks it in. He could head out like anything. He said the feeling just takes over. That's what he said, and I was like, that makes so much sense because he looks so fucked. Like he's ready. He scores.
Did you see the way he celebrated?
That's what I'm saying. That tap in, the one where Stones like sort of cuts it, miss kicks it, and he's just going like Mike Myers.
Even the open header back post, like the keeper's out of the game. He's on the byline, headers it straight in, and goes mental.
He goes off.
Ballistic. He's running full speed.
The goal against Villa.
Honestly,
The back
I
post one?
swear to you, he reminds me of. It's like his mentality right now to me is so similar to Cristiano Ronaldo in previous years. In terms of him not giving a shit about
Anything
other than putting the ball in the back of the net, he thrives on it. You see, he scored a hat-trick with 12 touches of the ball. How can you
How
can you be happy to just sit there? But he is. So for me, that's perfect. That's perfect. Maybe that's why Jesus didn't play, because Jesus obviously wanted lots of touches on the ball, needed the ball a lot. And Guardiola said, look, we don't need you for that.
Need you to do that.
We just need someone to put the ball in the back of the net, look at the players you have around
stand
you.
on the back post and put it in.
And
Do you reckon Hayes is like, fuck?
Yeah.
I could have listened. Yeah. I'd have so many goals.
And
Why did I come
Jesus'
deep?
goal to minute
was very
ratio
good.
is crazy good.
Yeah.
It was super hard.
So just imagine you're scoring 10 goals and you've probably played a total of.
He hasn't played 90 minutes.
You've probably played 300 minutes.
A certain guy's going viral for saying that he wouldn't get 15 goals this season. He's got 10 in 6. Fastest to 10 ever. Imagine having to come out and apologise.
Has he done an apology video?
Yeah, for saying he wouldn't score 15.
4 weeks in, he's done an apology video.
Yeah, that's so funny.
You know what actually upset me? You know what upsets me about this guy? If he was an African guy, it'd be in the papers. Juju man dissed that. He'd be investigated every day.
His age will be investigated.
His age. He's not 20.
He needs a bone scan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's killed his auntie.
Yeah.
He's done this. He's done that. Nah, this guy, he's different.
Margin boo.
Yeah, facts.
Margin Boo is crazy.
Yeah.
So Haaland is our one. Everyone's one. Unanimous one.
Oh, you have to
Unanimous
be
1 and 2.
And from that, we go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum. The worst 5 signings, which are maybe a bit more diverse, maybe a bit more interesting. I'll start this off. My number 5 on the top 5 worst signings is
Oh,
Jay Lings, baby. These idiots sat here trying to tell me Jay Lings is going to be the guy for Forest.
But who's the guy for Forest?
Button Samuel will
Yeah,
go
but
Jay
who's
Lings,
the guy for
baby.
Forest? Forest don't have a guy. That's why they're
pick
going to
one
get
of their 21
relegated.
signings.
That's
mate.
what, yeah, it was
I'd rather my guy not be on 200k a week,
1 year contract.
robbing my club and doing nothing, dropping 0 out of 10 performances every game. Nobody even knows. If you didn't know Jay Lings moved to Nottingham, you wouldn't know he's played there. Nobody knows because he does nothing
doesn't do
every
anything.
game. He's shit. He's my number 5. He's not going to do a thing, and he's not going to the World Cup.
And you know what? You know what annoys me about this guy? He plays like he started for Man United 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
That's how he's playing. He's moving around the pitch. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
give me the ball, keys.
Yeah. It's Del Piero when he came A-League.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
And I'm like, you don't have that bag.
Yeah,
Play
nah.
properly, man.
Yeah, you're not credible. 12 and 5.
Mine is a veteran of the game. He is an Arsenal reject. He's 603 years old. He recently signed for Fulham, and that's William.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
How
I thought you were gonna say
promoted
somebody
teams
else. I was about to
think-
argue with you.
How promoted teams think giving dudes that are fucking in a wheelchair like over 100k a week is a good idea?
He doesn't make sense to me.
He was done 4 years ago.
It really
So
doesn't
why
make
does
sense.
Fulham think that he's going to be the guy that's going to keep them up? Tell me why.
I promise it
Why
doesn't
go
make
in for
sense.
this guy?
They've got
Just
the
get
guy
a
that's
fucking
gonna keep him
20-year-old.
up. Yeah.
Give him 3k a week and fucking chuck him on the wing. He'll do way better.
Shout out 3K.
Shout out 3K.
So my fifth, for me, I think if you look at what this club is trying to do, I think this is not a good. I don't think this is a good signing at all. And I'm gonna say, so I don't think it's who you think.
I don't even know who it is. That was just funny.
But mine is Emerson Royale
Oh, yeah.
from Chelsea to West Ham.
Oh, yeah.
For me,
No, Emerson Palmieri.
Yeah.
sorry,
Palmeiras,
Emerson Palmeiras. For me, why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
He's fucking awful.
Why?
Once you secure a top 6 contract once,
You can do whatever you want.
you can get money at
Yeah.
any other team.
You know what you got to do? you got to act bougie when clubs try and talk to you.
Yeah,
and then they'll be convinced that you're the maddest guy.
Yeah.
You've had a hard time.
They're reaching. And you're settling.
Then they'll be like, oh no, we should sign this guy. You know nah.
He's not good enough to play for Everton.
No, he's not.
I mean, West Ham.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think he is.
He's not good enough to play in the Prem
I'm
anymore.
surprised he's still at like a top 8,
Yeah.
whatever team in the Prem for me. And for me, that signing was very pointless.
makes
You
no
can't
sense.
even look at no.
Yeah. Samuel.
My number 5 went to Villa, and I feel like they signed him. This was a deadline day signing, and to me, they signed him because they thought Douglas Luiz was going to leave.
Oh, yeah, this is such a shit.
He literally sucks. Leander Dendonka.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Why on
Panicked.
Why on earth Stephen Gerrard needs to be investigated? I'm convinced he needs. What he's doing at Villa is not managing. What is going on there? That's not managing.
You know it's a terrible signing. No Prem midfielder with like 100 games is going for 10 mil.
Yeah.
He went for 13 mil,
Like-
and his transfer market value is 28.
The Wolves just said,
Sure.
you're fully not
He
Portuguese.
does not play.
I don't think
And
Villa
you're
even
not good.
announced him. I think they just signed him and they were like,
yeah,
If
join.
you
part
want
of
to
the
play for
squad.
Wolves, you have to either be Portuguese or outstanding.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
neither.
He's neither.
And see, he was literally just sitting. Wolves said, all right, we'll bring in Mateus Nunez and we'll get rid of this guy for bloody
That's a good
nothing.
signing.
I don't understand Aston Villa. That's so weird.
And isn't he in his mid-20s?
Yeah.
and
What
he's shit.
player
And he's shit.
who's in their mid-20s
He completely offers only
Steven Gerrard
running.
has no idea.
He offers only running.
I feel like when we look at Villa before the start of the season, we're all like, yeah.
This doesn't be good. Yeah, you know where yours.
Yeah, we. Dark horse.
Yeah, we.
Look,
Yeah.
Stevie G, man. I don't know what he's done to me. I don't know how he convinced me they'll be decent, but it's awful. He's probably bottom 3 awful in terms of
And that's the worst mix. Awful and arrogant.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
mix is
Definitely.
terrible.
Him and Lamps are the same.
Oh,
Terrible.
gets
Who wants to go 4?
I'll go 4. This is one of my most fucking hated players in the whole league. It's a player. It's a player that
as well.
a relegation candidate bought after one of their star signings left.
This is the exact same one.
Yeah.
Like McNeil.
Oh, no. Mine
No,
went to
but
the
no,
same
no,
team.
Yeah, but
yeah.
why Everton thought this is going to be the guy that's going to replace Richarlison, get them out of the slump that they're in.
Yeah.
He's fucking shit.
Yeah,
He doesn't
offers
do
nothing.
anything. He doesn't defend.
Nope.
He's not particularly good one-on-one.
Nope,
And for
not
a
at all.
winger, what does he give you? He doesn't score.
No.
He doesn't give any assists.
No.
People were blinded
what?
by like a fucking, I don't know what the saying is, but essentially like
He was all right player and like a
In a team with no technical
Like,
ability.
He was in
Well, he was the
shit.
only one that was like all right at
Yeah,
dribbling.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, I think they were blinded, and that has made people think he's a good player. McNeil is bad, and the only reason I don't have him on my list is because Everton made another awful sign
And,
that bumped him out. Neil Mopay.
That's mine. That's
Neil
mine.
Mopay to Everton is my number 4, and you Brighton did not even bat an eye.
Nah.
Nope.
Brighton play with Welbeck up front every game. He's going to probably finish the season with 7 goals,
Less.
and they don't care.
Yeah.
They didn't care to get rid of Mopay.
Nope.
Do they even
Everton-
have a backup striker? I don't
They
think so.
don't.
And they let him go.
Everton got rid of their best player for the last
30 plus Premier League goals.
Yeah.
That's what they got rid of.
Yeah. Everton got rid of
Hey.
their best club player like for the last 5 years.
Almost
Richarlison.
of all time, I reckon.
Lukaku. Richarlison. Richarlison gone. Who do they replace him with?
Mopay.
Neil Mopay.
What does he offer them?
What
I feel as though Everton they needed Rondon to be like good. They needed Rondon's figure, but with somebody with ability. And they signed Mopay. Mopay is not going to score 1 goal at Goodison Park.
Well, you saw him miss the
one-on-one against
right now. He's not scoring a goal. He
Not
has
one.
no physical presence at all. And for Everton, who play with their 9 so isolated, he's not going to do a thing.
I think they're gassed that they got Idrissa Gana guy back.
Yeah,
And they've got Onana.
Onana,
They
yeah.
love it.
Doucouré. I think Lampard.
Unknown T.
I think Lampard's like, I got the blackest geezers in the midfield. We're sweet.
Yeah.
You got like Everton. I can't believe this window. Based on last season,
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
I genuinely can't.
They were so close to selling Gordon and not replacing
And replacing you
Gordon to Chelsea for 60 mil at the end of the window
get only Mope.
I can't believe it.
They should have sold him for 60 mil.
and played with fucking who? Mope and McNeil.
Yeah, have
starting.
McNeil swing crosses into Mope.
It's all right. They got Idrissa. They got Doucouré.
Onana.
They got Onana. They're sweet, man.
That's fucked.
Tom Davies' little cameo every now and
Oh,
again.
he's fucking bad. Who's your four?
Nah, mine was Mope.
Oh, yours is Mope.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, you got a
I
different.
hate that bum.
My 4. For me, we're gonna move to Leicester.
Did they make no signings?
They made one.
No,
or
they
two.
signed Alex Smithy as a goalkeeper. For me, think about this. Right? He's a goalkeeper. Think about this, right? You've got who's the other? Danny Ward.
Danny Ward,
the
yeah.
worst keeper.
The
in the
worst.
league.
You saw his
Awful.
performance yesterday.
Danny Ward.
yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. You go.
Danny Ward, Alex Smithies. You've had Peter Schmeichel.
Is that even his name?
I think I'm mispronouncing it on purpose. But you had Kasper Schmeichel, who he brought so much to the team. He might not have been the best or one of the best keepers. Not bad. He was
competent.
Yeah,
Very
he's competent.
Top
Yeah.
8 keeper.
Competent,
Yeah.
right? But for what he brought to the club, for what he brought to the team,
Yep.
for the energy he brought to the side, you telling me you let this guy go and you replace him with
4 mil?
Smithies?
Yeah.
He's his name.
Can we get a check on
Who
this
is
name?
Smithies?
Yo, production, we need to check.
Why have I- was he free?
Who this Leicester keeper?
I've never
is.
thought of. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, it was free.
Because they made Ward the number 1, and after he dropped a 0 out of 10 yesterday,
He's been dropping 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Dropped a 0 out of 10 against Arsenal.
Did you see where he was standing on the free kick on McAllister's
Yes,
free
that's
kick?
what I said to Samuel before McAllister's free kick. I go, why is the keeper standing there? And it goes in that side. It was a sick free kick, obviously.
Yeah, it was
But
bins.
Come on. And against Arsenal, he drops the one for Xhaka's goal.
Yeah.
Ward is atrocious, and apparently they've got an even worse keeper.
Smithies.
Who I've never heard of.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
It's actually bizarre what's happening at Leicester. And they want to get rid of the gaffer.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not even the one that's making these calls either.
Yeah, no, he probably wanted to sign players. They said, nah. He's only making money. They sold their keeper for 4 mil. Schmeichel went for 4 mil.
To a random team. He went
He
to
went
like
to
France or something.
Yeah. They're probably getting the best out of him.
I can't believe it.
My number 3 of top 5 worst signings is a player who was on loan last year, and they completed the buyout this season.
Right, I think I know who it is.
So, one of my most, let's say, just a player I despise because of his lack of continuity, consistency.
He gets a lot of hate on this podcast.
Philip Coutinho is now a bench warmer for Aston Villa after 6 months. After 6 months of being the main guy, he's now on the bench. I know he's on big wages.
Yeah.
And he comes on for Buendia, who is awful at the moment.
How are these?
So how this Gerrard has not been fired? Dean Smith did a lot less to get fired than Stevie G's doing.
Yeah, facts. How does Coutinho go from, wow, this could be a really good signing? Every
6
place he
games he's
goes,
dropped.
yeah,
this could really work out for him.
It could really work out.
I think just because of expectation versus what he's producing,
Yeah.
he has to be in this list for me because he's awful.
He's just so
awful.
average now.
He's not going to... He could have proven to everyone why he still got it. He's back in the Prem. Could have got a Brazil call-up. Could have been in the squad. He is not doing a damn thing at the moment. And I think
And it's not like he couldn't get a Brazil call up because
If he wanted-
Douglas Luiz is getting called up.
exactly. And
So-
Douglas Luiz sits next to him.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. All right. So this is my 3. My number 3. At the time they signed this guy, this is club record fee, right? So we've just got promoted. This is club record fee. and it's Taiwo Awoniyi.
Oh yeah.
This guy, I promise, I swear to God, I'm so convinced they never watched him play.
20 mil?
20.5 mil. I am so convinced they just signed him based off. They saw, oh, he scored a couple goals last season. We'll bring him in. He's pretty big.
Height
He's
and
buff.
weight.
We don't need to put him in the gym. He's going to be good for this year. And then I reckon when he got to preseason training,
They were like, oh
they
my
were
god.
like, what? I reckon
What the hell is
they
this?
tried to cancel the transfer, but the money had already been sent.
They rang the alarm.
Now, it's 6 games into the season and he doesn't even start anymore. He was the club record
And the goal he
signing.
scored.
Yeah. The
one
goal
goal-
he scored hit him and went in. The one goal he scored, and his performances, I can see a guy who wants to try hard for the team.
He's doing your fantasy team, isn't he?
I got rid of him straight away. Brought in Antonio. I swear to you, Awoniyi
Yeah.
is one of the worst. I probably think the worst technical footballer in the Premier League right now. 20 million they spent on this guy, and he's horrible.
He's bad.
He should be in League 2.
He's bad.
How he scored 12 or so goals in the Bundesliga.
last year.
Anyone can score in Bundesliga, apparently.
Apparently. Because
Werner-
if this
Werner
guy
goes straight back.
if this guy can score 12 I promise he couldn't score 12 goals in Canberra. He's shocking. Like so bad. And he's African, and I shouldn't be hating on these Africans too much, but this guy, MJ, I promise you, is one of the worst.
Mike,
players
is
I've
your
ever seen.
third player white?
Huh?
Is your number 3 white?
It was him.
Was that yours as well?
I was about to say, right? Their whole board, you know that meme when it's like the motorbike and it crashes? Their whole board was like, yeah, we signed this guy. He's big, he's black, he's mad. And then they went to training.
That was the director driving home from training.
The director crashed his bike.
Seems like yesterday.
He was like, what have we done?
They were just doing rondos in the warm up. They're watching him. Yeah, let's just watch our new side.
Think about Nottingham signed 21 players. No.
21
21
players.
21 players.
And he is the worst
He's
of the,
the worst
21.
one.
And he's the
And
record
he's-
sign.
Oh my god.
Until
I couldn't
Gibbs
believe it.
White signed, he was their record signing.
Oh, that is
I think
so
based
funny.
based off him being the record signing and the value he brings, it's actually really bad.
He's already not starting.
I genuinely
He was their
think,
record
I
signing.
promised you, I think they've got to just like swallow their pride, move him to centre back, because we saw Joel Litty get moved to midfield,
Yeah.
and it's much better. Record signing. He's not a
rejuvenated
goal
his
scorer.
career.
I'm convinced this guy go
He's a
to
wing
centre back.
Go to a back five.
Go to a back
Put
five,
him on the
play him
wing.
wing back. He's
Yeah.
pretty quick. He's strong. Has absolutely no technique, no touch, nothing.
Yeah.
For me, it's centre back or nothing. He centre back or don't feature
He
on the
could be
field.
alright as a centre back.
I think that's where he has to go, because he's not a forward. He's not anyone.
It happens, though.
He's not anyone that should be allowed to go over halfway.
You know how many forwards play centre back?
Tom, we
Colo
got a
Toure,
different
they
number
made
3.
that
Yeah, I
decision.
got a different number 3. We're staying in Africa.
Oh,
Sorry.
We're staying in Africa.
These Chelsea boys are going to have a lot to say about this one, but I just think the way that he left Arsenal and
Oh yeah,
the way that this guy's coming
facts.
back and how
This
dead
is
he
your number
looked.
2 or 3?
3. How dead he looked when he was playing in the Prem.
Facts.
Aubameyang is just not the guy to turn it
Oh,
around for
but-
Chelsea. And he's so high because I know they're going to hang all their hopes on this guy.
And they gave him number 9.
And they gave him number 9.
fuck that guy.
So he's going to start. He's going to play 9 every game. And he'll score 8 goals maybe.
I'm not upset at the signing from an Arsenal perspective. Like, it's not a Fabregas signing. It's not a Van Persie signing. It's not a Nasri signing where I'm like, I'm crushed. I'm just like, what are you doing? What's gone wrong with your life that you're now back after your dream move?
I thought you just
Was 6 months ago?
Yeah.
You just
It was
they replaced him with Lewandowski in 6 months.
How Barcelona got to the point where Depay was ready to terminate his own contract and Aubameyang was the second choice striker to Depay saying, nah, I'm going to stay. and Aubameyang being shifted out.
I'm so
For
convinced.
13 mil and Marcus Alonso.
I'm so convinced. Like, I promise you, in my head, I can just imagine Xavi, the Barca board, them all saying, "We would love to have you. You're the start of our new era at Barcelona. We need you at the club." He goes on his Instagram. This is at the end of the season. He goes on his Instagram. Barca announcing, guess who? Lewandowski. They've given him the number 9. They gave Lewandowski the number 9. Aubameyang calls Xavi. He says, "What the hell's going on? You promised me 2 years. I'm going to start." And he said, "Sorry, like, we've moved on. This is better." And Aubameyang on deadline day moved to Chelsea.
funny.
Chelsea, this shows more how much in the mud Chelsea are.
They're desperate.
How can
They're
you replace?
desperate.
How can you replace your biggest flop of a signing of all time with then your second biggest flop of a signing all time, Lukaku with Werner, and then now you've replaced them both with one of the biggest flops of all time now?
No,
He's going to be a flop. I'm saying fortunate. Not at Arsenal. He wasn't a flop.
Not a flop.
No, he's not from previous. But this season, he's going to cement his spot as one of the greatest flops of all time. One of the
hope
worst
so.
deadline day signings
I think
ever.
so.
All right, let's take it easy on Africa. Mike, number 2.
Oh, shit.
Well, mine shit. Well, mine have been said, but I'm gonna say Bournemouth as a whole. This is why. You've come to the Prem, and you're moving like that.
The no signings.
They've signed all their players are from Championship or League One, except for one who's from Feyenoord.
Yeah.
You've come to the Premier League, and that's your window.
The whole club.
They lost 9-0 to Liverpool, who right now suck.
And then in
For me,
5 weeks, fired the coach because he said we're not getting any backing.
Yeah. So for me, how can they not be in the top 2? You got smoked by Liverpool that's not in form, and you sacked your coach who clearly wanted to make better signings. It does not make sense. The Championship is not the same as the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to survive, you need to make key signings.
Yeah.
Or you need to have a squad that is so good that you're not losing 9-0.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to just win in the Championship? Like, being a fan, would you prefer to win in the Championship or just keep getting relegated from the Premier League?
I heard a lot of Newcastle fans saying that they had more fun when they're in the Championship.
That's what I heard
because they were
with
winning.
West Brom fans.
yeah.
True.
They said
Like-
it's funner to be in the Championship.
Because they
Yeah.
get to win.
Yeah, but
now-
obviously they prefer to be in the Prem, but it's funner to support a team
Match days are way
that's
better.
sick in the
But
Championship.
Bournemouth are just going back down again. It's clear to me they're going back down.
Yeah, they have
So
to.
Mike's gone Bournemouth at 2, Samuel different 2.
Yeah. So my number 2 is a £36 million signing. Plays number 9, West Ham United, Scamacca. I think this might be a bit premature, but based on what I've seen from him, he doesn't look good. He really doesn't look good. He doesn't look better than Antonio, and not being better than Antonio is very worrying.
Yeah, that is worrying.
Because he played right back 2 seasons ago. He literally played right back 2 seasons ago and now plays 9, and they've had to bring Antonio in to just play it still. Scamacca does not look good, and he physically does not look like he can play in the Premier League.
Well, speaking of signings that just absolutely made no sense, my number 2 is Cucurella. And I think for 60 mil, what Chelsea were thinking going into that negotiation room, Brighton were probably, I reckon Graham Potter's gone in saying, like he's saying to the board, listen, if they give us 30, we take it.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, Todd Bowley, just come in and go 60, take it or leave it.
And they go,
oh, for our left wing back.
Give me a minute.
Wait, we don't even play with a wing back anymore. We play with midfielders.
Yep.
Trossard plays there now. Okay, go. They signed him when they signed Chilwell 2 years ago for 50 mil and got rid of Marcus Alonso for Aubameyang. If that's not the most diabolical string of transfers, Why are you signing a left back who's going to play 50% of the games for 60 mil?
And also, we're not saying Kukurea is a bad player
At
because
all,
he's a very good left
He's
back.
a good player.
But-
But is he a better second choice left back than a free Alonso?
No.
I don't know.
As a wing back,
You
no.
you just have Chilwell there.
Yeah,
Like,
just
what's
play
he doing
Chilwell.
now? Is Chilwell going to play third centre back? No, because we signed 70 mil for Fana. So no, and 40 mil Koulibaly.
That for me, Chelsea board has made absolutely zero sense.
It feels like Chelsea heard City were interested in this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So they were like,
Yeah.
He must be good.
This guy's got to be good.
Pep wants him?
we need to scoop this guy up straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, complete that shit.
Yeah, for me, I was pretty surprised that they went that hard. I thought, you
Good
know what?
player.
Throw it 20 mil.
Yeah.
You know,
30
show
mil?
that you've got the leverage.
Test the waters with 25.
City-
If they say give us 30, you say okay.
City didn't even replace their left back. They sold a left back. Brighton said, we want 40. City said, hell no, we're not giving you 40.
Yeah.
They didn't even sign a left back. Chelsea come in and say, we'll give you 60. We'll give you 60.
City offered 40, we'll give you 60.
They offered 40, we'll give you 60. So now that's 110 mil on left backs. And
For what?
And for
And
no
for
reason.
what?
For what? My number 2 is a player who signed very recently. And it's very, very, very annoying that they played this morning and that he fucking scored. But it's Anthony. For 100 million for a player from Ajax. Ajax will accept 30 mil for players.
Yeah, they will.
They would love to accept 30 mil for a player.
Gravenberch went for 18 mil, 30
Yeah.
mil, 18
They
mil.
literally sold like their best ever player, De Jong, for 70. This is more than that.
It's insane that a player is going to Man United for 100 mil from Ajax. A player whose stats are, they're all right. But for 100 mil, you could buy anyone you want in the whole world.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
You could go to any club in the whole world and say, give me your best player, I'll give you 100 mil. And they would say, okay.
You know
They
what
probably could have got Neymar for 100 mil.
You know what I'm wondering? Is it not better to just be like, go to Bayern and say, we'll give you 50 mil for any of your 3 wingers, Koeman, Gnabry, Sane.
They want to sell one of their wingers.
You could take 2 of them for 100 mil. You could take Koeman and Gnabry for 100
Sorry.
mil.
They could have signed Neymar for 100 mil.
And you see how these guys
they
been
would-
playing.
if they-
If Ten Hag went to Mbappe and said, I'll give you 100 mil for Neymar, you think he's not taking He's not taking that?
If Ten Hag went to Mbappe and said, we'll give you 100. Because they were trying to get rid of him. No one said that.
Yeah.
Everyone said, we don't want him. And he's come out and he's playing one of his best ever seasons to start this year. Neymar.
Think they're not taking 100 mil for Neymar? They're absolutely taking 100
Anthony's
mil
just
for Neymar.
Neymar with less tech and less
Less
goals
output.
and,
And
less
less
assists
that, yeah.
and just way
And way
worse.
less cool.
And less
And way
ability.
less cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, way less cool.
He's just like a guy that will give you 2 out of 10
Like he's
from now every now
obviously
and again.
good.
He is good.
Obviously,
And he's
good.
exciting.
Technically, it's
Sure.
brilliant.
Technically great.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
But for 100
But for
mil, you want to
100
be
mil.
signing they're the best. They start for any team in the
In the
world.
whole
Top 5
world.
player.
In the world.
In
If
the
you're
world.
spending 100
In
mil.
their position, they start for
100
any
mil.
team in the world.
Yeah.
When he's 100 mil, you're getting a guy who, isn't consistent across the board.
Yeah, unless you're
If United went to Tottenham and said, give us Son, he's 100 mil, I'd be like,
They would take it.
100 mil for
100%
Son.
they would take it.
And Anthony is 100 mil.
Yeah. How
what world?
everyone's just brushed over 100
And also,
yeah.
we know it's probably 92, but 100 mil sounds funnier.
Yeah, and plus when the add-ons come in, he's going to be over
It's gonna be
100
more than
anyway.
100.
Yeah, it's a howler because of the cost. Not the player, not ability. Similar to Kukurea, it's terrible business.
I don't care that he's played for Ten Hag before.
Because you're not going to sell him for 200 mil.
You're going to make a loss no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. And
do
this
you-
guy better be scoring 20 goals a season.
That's the problem.
If not,
100 mil, yeah.
what are you spending 100 mil
That's
on
the
a player
problem.
for?
100
And he's
mil,
not going to.
100
You
mil,
know buying him, he's not going to give you that.
He's-
So why spend 100 mil on
he's
him?
less efficient than 80 mil Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
For the same position.
They signed
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho, a guy who had 20 goals, 20 assists at Dortmund. Came in,
Excellent.
was not efficient at all.
Yep.
Asterix Bundesliga.
Yeah, shout out Rory.
Yeah.
Now on the right, they bring in someone. On the right, they bring in someone who's not efficient either. Cool, good player. Same as Sancho.
Yeah.
What happened last year?
Exciting.
But hopefully, for Man U's sake, he does something.
Can't foresee it happening.
Yeah, nah.
And
Is everyone-
let's do a countdown where we say our number one of worst business ever to ever occur ever in the Premier League ever. 3, 2,
Not
1.
doing this, Spirit.
Darwin.
Darwin.
Yeah, I was gonna like,
I don't even know what to say, honestly.
but I was like, no. I think if you look at the transfer fee, because look, this is relative to how much they paid, what his output currently is, what it's projected to be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not going to score goals. He's probably going to score goals. But in terms of what Liverpool needed, in terms of the player that they're going to get, in terms of, you know, Champions League football, Premier League football, he's already got a red card for doing the worst, like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's not a good signing at this point in time.
Absolutely. And the thing that makes it so much worse is Liverpool only sign one player every 2 years.
Why is it this guy?
They're not City. City can do 50 mil signings and have them flop and be like, well, we'll just do the same thing next window.
Legit.
City signed Danilo, decided in January he wasn't good enough, got João Cancelo after signing Kyle Walker. So you're like, all right, cool. It's City. It's dumb, but it's City. Liverpool take their time. They have like 59 analysts who have come to the conclusion that they spend 85 mil on a player with absolutely no awareness and no ball playing ability.
I swear
This guy
to you.
has no ability.
I couldn't believe it.
Why has it become a thing that as football fans, if you're a fan of a team, you're not allowed to say this player's shit, or you're not allowed to say that this is a bad signing. You're not allowed to say that I hate this bastard because I don't know him as a person. Obviously, he could be a cool guy, but we sold Sadio Mane, one of my favorite ever Liverpool players, one of our best ever players ever in the club's history, one of the best players in Premier League history. They sold him for 30 million to Bayern Munich. Bayern got better. We go and then for 85, this was already planned. It was already planned. He was linked. 85 million, they pull the trigger on Darwin Nunez. He played in the Portuguese league. He was a great goal scorer, sure. Portuguese league. Why the hell are we spending... Did they not watch him play? He played against Liverpool. He has absolutely no technical ability at all. You replace a player, Sadio Mane, who likes to come deep, receive the ball, turn, create things, score good goals, get in the box, score, finish left foot, right foot. They replaced him with a guy who offers absolutely nothing in the build-up, offers absolutely nothing defensively, offers absolutely nothing in terms of linking up with the other forwards that we have. Mane made it so much easier for Salah to exist at Liverpool. And now we've brought in a 9 who's 6'3", who tries to make runs in behind. He's not good at hold-up. He's 6'3". He's not good at hold-up. We could have gone and got Isak for 20 mil less. We could have got Jesus for 40 mil less. We could have got Haaland 40 mil less. He doesn't score. He scored one goal that deflected off him. He gets a red card for the stupidest shit I've ever seen. And he's just costing us points. Firmino comes on for a 30-minute stint and looks 40 times. This is washed Firmino, who's 31 years old. He's Brazilian and he's past age 30 and he's better than Darwin. Darwin, with his stupid ponytail, I promise to you, that is one of the worst pieces of business, and it's the worst thing because I've seen my club do it. And to make things worse, we're playing in the 3 ugliest kits I've ever seen this year. So now...
Nike might be
Do you think there's a reason that our form has dropped this season? We got rid of one of our best players, and the guy we brought in literally sucks.
Then he has to play.
You know what I was thinking when I was watching the Everton game? I had a few drinks. I was watching him play, and I was trying to focus on Darwin. And he plays like he's... I'm not even saying this to be funny. Like he's blindfolded. And the ball has the bell, like the blind people. And you just are sort of like feeling where it is.
He is
Like,
blind. You know why? Because that hair is so tight that he cannot see. He's got a tension headache, I'm telling you.
the ball is coming, and a normal person who can see the ball would be like, all right, I'm going to adjust my body like this. But he's adjusting as the ball's gone past because he's hearing it.
One
past.
time he let the ball run past him.
That's what I'm saying.
To go and go forward. He lets the ball run past him, then realize, wait, I'm facing the wrong way. I have to turn and face
he
the
heard
goal.
the bell.
Turns, faces the goal, goes off balance. The defender just wins the ball. He got no touch on the ball. How can we be playing you on a counter attack? You let the ball run to the defender. We're on a counter attack. Did you see his header? He gets a header. We're like, oh, he goes like, oh. They show the replay.
He's so
He
far
goes,
wide.
Header, you have no strike. You're 6'3". You have no striker's touch. Nothing. You can't head the. How are you 6'3"? You can't head the ball. We could have gotten so many. I would be if someone came to Liverpool right now.
Ivan Toney for 30 mil would have been a better deal.
If
Actually would have.
would have been
if
better.
someone
Actually
came to me, if I'm Liverpool board
And he's
members,
a Liverpool fan.
I know.
I'm-
He wants to go to Liverpool.
I'm the
He said
freaking.
he'd go to sit on the bench.
I'm the Liverpool owners right now. If someone comes to me and says, we will give you 25 mil for Darwin Nunez,
25.
I promise, I promise I would say, I would be happy to go all January without a strike, all up until January without a striker, sign someone for 25 mil, replace him at the end of the, at the next window. I promise to you, I feel so strongly about this because they got another player who technically doesn't offer much, who in the build-up doesn't offer anything. And if he doesn't score, offers completely nothing. We already have too many of those. We have Jota and we have Salah. Those guys, that's enough. That's enough.
enough.
I'm telling you, that's enough players that cannot provide anything in the build-up. That's enough. You don't need three. How can you have all three up? If we didn't have Luis Diaz, our front three would
Yeah, we'd be
never, ever,
fucked.
ever receive the ball. Because how can they receive the ball if they're all standing in the width of the box? Front three standing next to each other, one on the penalty spot, one on the corner of the little D, and one on the other corner.
Making forward runs.
They would never get the ball. And imagine if Thiago doesn't come back from injury, Henderson, Milner, and Fabinho, which one of them is going?
if he passes away.
Which one of them is going to get the ball? You've got Milner, Henderson, Fabinho. All three can't play forward. Fabinho, yeah. I love him, and he's one of the best DMs in the world. But he's not progressing the ball. He's not driving, taking players on, finding the front three. No, he's not. That's not his job. Now we have a front three that Darwin can't hold the ball up. Jota doesn't come deep to receive the ball. He's similar to Haaland, just wants to score. He's happy with scoring. Salah, did you see him talking to Harvey Elliott in preseason saying, oh, Curtis Jones, all I want to do is score. That's why I score the goals, because this is what I do. I score the goals. Sure. But you don't offer anything in build-up. You don't offer anything to make the team better.
All right, so
It's
it's a Liverpool. It's turned into a
Liverpool
Liverpool.
biggest
Mike,
L
before we
I've
end this
seen my
off,
club, mate.
you got any honourable mentions? Anybody you wanted to name who missed out on worst signing or best
say,
signing?
man.
Tom, anything?
Best
Honourable
signings.
mentions?
No, my
quite a
honourable
few.
mention was Zinchenko. That was the one I was tossing up between Koulibaly and Nat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's it, really.
For best signings, obviously.
Best signing?
Yeah, yeah.
Kera for worst signings.
Yeah, Kurta.
Yeah. Why is that guy around?
My honourable mentions, Bella Kotchap.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's been
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
Another one, he's young from Germany.
Yep.
I think his market price is going to go up after a good season.
And they signed a good keeper. Maybe Southampton as a whole they did some incredible business this window.
Exceptional. And they have so much room to make so much money off these players as well. And they have longevity because they've signed like some good young talent. So yeah, I think they've done well. Another one I want to say though is I think Fulham signing Leno was a good signing. I think you've got a Premier League proven goalkeeper who's a very good shot stopper. And I think he'll bring a lot to that club and a lot of experience that those players will need, especially if they want to stay up. So
For like 8 mil as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
for that price,
Yeah, that is a good signing.
Still,
Far out. I'm sick of that tall freak.
This has been
Aubameyang would probably be better though.
We could go on about this for a while. Like, share, subscribe,
I didn't say one word about Darwin.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I didn't need to say anything.
Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe,
Share
comment.
with your friends.
Yep, all your friends. Tag Darwin. and let's get Darwin trending.
We'll see you next Thursday.
Peace.
Inshallah.